What is going on, everyone? Drag here. So what we're going to touch on today is how to improve on defense. Just watching streams or facing a lot of players in cut, I see a lot of people struggle on defense. I think a lot of it is just from not knowing what to do or what to focus on. At times I struggle on defense as well, but today I'm going to go ahead and share some tips on how to improve. Let's dive into it. So to begin here, the first thing that you want to do is become comfortable with a blitz. So this basically means to either lab and find a defense that works for you, or learn from like a content creator or somebody that like sells ebooks, etc. Basically to get a nice base as to how to set up or run a defense. So aside from doing that, another thing that you really want to do with defenses is to get a lot of reps in it. So I'm talking like 20, 30 games before you just go ahead and ditch the defense, unless it's really not working for you. And what I mean by that is you're not having any successes at all after like 5 to 10 games and you don't see yourself getting any better in it. So what I see a lot of players do, and I've had a lot of experiences with this with my own Discord, is people trying defenses that I drop, and then if they have one bad game in it, they just go ahead and get rid of it and move back to what they were doing or move on to something else. Now, in order to run a defense the best, you have to face a lot of different defenses. You need to try different things out of it in order to make it work for you. So another important thing here with becoming comfortable with defenses, and this is probably the most important one, aside from one, learning how to set up the defense. So with my penny defense here, I can go ahead and make sure it's all set up here. And a thing you want to do is learn how to stop the run in it. There's a lot of good runs, especially in college football, and you're going to face a lot of them during games. So if you only know how to stop the pass, you can really struggle against the run, and this can definitely cause you to lose games. So if you just learn and take a little bit of time to figure out how to stop certain runs that are giving you trouble, you'll be able to easily stop runs in this game, and then you'll force your opponent to pass, which is going to basically just give you an edge on them. So you can see here, I ran through the gap in order to stop the base run. Bases, any sort of like direct snaps or options can be very troublesome in this game. So you have to make sure you learn and figure out how to stop them, especially with RPOs as well. Those could also be other defenses or other things that are troubling to stop. But if you just take a little bit of time to figure out what to do with your defense and how to stop it, or if you have like an ebook, read through and then basically like see what they say in order, like how to stop certain things, like certain runs or certain RPOs, what adjustments to make to stop those. That way, if you get those down, you'll be able to stop them once you face them. You can see right there, hard flash shuts that down easily. So the second thing here you want to focus on is basically learning good coverage shells out of your base defense. So a way to do this is by becoming familiar with all the like meta or popular formations in the game, and then also knowing which setups or plays are used a lot in those formations, because from there you can go ahead and learn different adjustments as to how to stop the money route to those plays. So an example here is going to be verticals. So what you can do here, aside from setting up the blitz, you can see a coverage shell like this is going to do very well, because a popular route in this play is going to be the tight end corner on the right. And then you also have the seam route, the seam streak here, that is going to be a popular route to throw as well. So we have a hook curl, which will guard that, and then I'm going to user this guy here, or you can kind of just user down with the safety, and then you can either play up top or play middle top. That way you don't give up anything deep. But with this simple coverage adjustment, you can see how we have this different shell out here, aside from the standard cover 3, and it's going to take away what your opponent wants to do. You see right there, totally bagged. So learning some other shells or other popular shells. So just examples here. You can do something like this, what I just showed you, like this. And then you can also do things like this. You can see you have this, you can leave the hard flat, you can have the cloud up top, or you can do things like man him up, spy him, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of different things you can do with these coverage shells. All right, so next up here, what you want to do is become good at switch sticking. Switch sticking was just added to the game this year, and it is very, very vital to becoming a good defensive player. I stress this a lot when people ask me how to become better at defense. So you can see here with this play, you can use the outside linebacker or the safety that's in a yellow. But post snap here, you just want to recognize what play your opponent is in or what routes are on the field. That way you can simply just switch stick to take away their go-to routes. So there's obviously going to be the flats here in this play, what the computer is throwing. So if you know or recognize what your opponent wants to throw in defense, you can easily take away those routes. So you see there, I switch stick to the only open route, making a tackle immediately after they threw the ball, which that can do a few things. One, if I jump a little bit quicker, I can pick the ball, or two, I can knock the ball out. Let's do it again here. Take away the routes. You can see right there, we moved down the yellow, switch sticked off, and he was able to knock the ball out. So going all along with what I was just stating here, you really want to start focusing or picking up on your opponent's tendencies, and that's going to basically help improve your switch sticking, because if you know what routes your opponent wants to throw, you can easily switch stick to that route in order to take it away. So with the tendencies here, this also will help with future plays and basically what shells you want to put on the field. So if you basically can predict what your opponent is going to do, a lot of people have like a system or basically what they want to call in certain situations. So if you remember what your opponent typically calls, you'll have the edge on them and can easily adjust to what they're about to do. Next up here, basically you want to have backup defenses. So your base defense, so your main blitz that you want to focus on and get a lot of repetitions versus other people online, that may not always work against every person that you face. So you just want to have some backup defenses or backup options that you can run in the event that your opponent is just completely destroying you. Because if you throw something different at them, it could be the difference between winning a game or not winning a game, because you could get a crucial stop here if you find a defense that gives your opponent trouble. So just looking in 3-3-5 tight here, we have Penny, we have Mint. So this is another option that we can run and we can throw at our opponent. We have 3-3 stack, we have double mug. You can see there's a lot of different things and a lot of different defenses that you can run here, especially in this playbook here, that we can throw at our opponent in the event that they just completely torch our main defense. So the last thing here is going to be goal line defense. Goal line defense can be super key and win you a lot of games. And if you're not in like a super balanced formation as your base defense, so just pausing or going to the menu here real quick. So if you look at like a defense like Mint, you can see that there's a weak side to the formation. So when your opponent is in like the red zone, it might be best to come out in something that's balanced or basically just like match your opponent's personnel. So if they're coming out in a heavy run set, you can come out in like a 3-4. Or if they're in like shotgun, you might want to switch over to something where it's a little bit more balanced. So if you see like a penny here, it's pretty easy to, it almost has like a symmetrical type look, similar to like a stack here, where only the slot cornerback is off center, or on one side, sorry. But so if you're focusing on red zone here, especially like run formations, you want to do things like this. This is what a lot of people will do. They'll just put clouds and then hard flats. And then from there, all you really have to do is switch stick to one of the safeties here to cover like a corner route. That way you're not really giving up anything underneath. And then from there, you can really just focus on stopping the run here. And if your opponent happens to pass, then you can basically just switch stick to the safeties to take away anything deep towards the sidelines. So you can see here, you can easily switch stick post snap to this guy if they're going to throw a corner to the right, this guy if they're going to throw a corner to the left, or you can just sit over the middle here and user one of these linebackers. So I hope you guys did enjoy the tips here today. Just some advice basically on how to become better as a defensive player. This goes towards college football, it goes towards Madden. I've competed in football games for over 15 years, so I definitely know what I'm talking about. If you guys did enjoy the video today, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And of course, like the video. If you have any questions at all, just comment below. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. We'll see you next time.